the word that came to mind was automation, and this is something that I talk about extensively with my 6, my 7, my 8-figure clients. And that is about automation and delegation. As I just stated, the eternal struggle, the eternal battle is between time and money, your time and your money, right? So you're always trading one for the other. There's really no way to get around that, right? As an entrepreneur. Now, I mean, let's face it, most of us, if not almost all of us, were raised in, I want to say poverty consciousness, but, it was just survival consciousness, really, which is, go to school, get good grades, go to college, get a job, work for 40 years. And then once you retire, when you're too old to enjoy it, then you can have fun. And you're like, that is the stupidest thing I've ever heard. I mean, right? When you say it like that, you're like, that is idiotic. Who came up with this stuff?
That's right.
But in all fairness, that was the industrial age, right? The pre-internet age, which, my God, it's only 20 years old, 25 years old. I mean, the internet's been around pretty much as long as I have, about 25 years or so, right? And so, I mean, I was, as I mentioned, successclinic.com just happened to be, I happened to create one of the very first business and personal growth websites on the internet without even really knowing what I was doing. I just, was in the right place at the right time, I guess, but I also took the right actions. Anyway, the point is that industrial model, the pre-internet model is still what we have. Now, the great news for everybody watching this program and, people who, young people, millennials and Gen Z or whatever gen we're on right now, the young people today, they don't have that. They don't have to overcome that because of this wonderful tool called the internet, that really makes, I think, well, the internet is, there's no question, is the greatest communication tool ever invented by humans. That's inarguable because all of us, any of us, every single one of us can become our own media company. And that's like, Nathan, with you, you have this media that you are now putting out to the earth. And, I have media that I've been putting out in the forms of books and videos and programs and coaching and so forth. And so that's what we all can do now, which we couldn't do even 20 years ago, right? I mean, an incredibly short time ago, this just wasn't available. So now we have it. So now what are you going to do? Okay, well, so now we still have this eternal struggle of time versus money. All right. So now as the entrepreneur, as the CEO of your business, you have to make those tough decisions. All right. So when it comes to delegation and automation, those are two of the things that I see holding a lot of people back. In other words, when people want to go from 6 figures to 7 figures and 7 figures to 8 figures, those are two of the big things that can hold you back. In other words, you're saying to yourself, for example, I was speaking at a seminar in Los Angeles, and it was about 1,000 entrepreneurs, business owners, 6, 7, and 8-figure earners, very, successful people. And I was teaching about power habits and head trash and everything that we've been talking about. Yep. And I was walking off the stage after my presentation. A man came up to me and he said, Noah, I want to hire you as my coach. You are the coach that I have been looking for. And I said, okay. And now I didn't know this man from Adam. Ironically, his name was Adam. And so I said, okay. I said, well, what's going on, Adam? And he said, Noah, I'm totally stuck. I'm only making $4 million a year. I said, okay, well, that's funny, isn't it? I mean, I literally said, well, that doesn't sound like much of a problem because a lot of people like to be stuck at $4 million a year, right? That doesn't sound too bad, right? He goes, no, Noah, I'm the CEO of this company and we grew to 4 million in revenues really fast, but we have been plateaued at 4 million for the past 4 years. 4 years they've been stuck at 4 million. And he said, I've hired everybody. He said, I've hired, all the big name gurus, all the names we know, all the big guys, right? The hustlers and the grinders. And he said, I spent all this money and we're still stuck. And he said, as soon as I heard you speak, as soon as I heard you talk about head trash and foot on the brake and affirmation, everything you just said, I knew you were the coach. So something inside said, you're the coach that I've been looking for. So he literally hired me on the spot, which was amazing. So I worked with him for about 18 months to 2 years. In that amount of time, in that time frame, Nathan, his company went from being stuck at 4 million for the previous 4 years to over $20 million in sales per year, 4 million to 20 million. Okay. Wow. So the point of that, what is the point of the story? The point is that this is one of the things that we worked on. And what's ironic is we really didn't work a lot on the marketing stuff, all the sales, that's what he'd hired all those gurus for. But boom, 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 he kept hitting the ceiling. Why? Because no one had helped him in here. No one had helped him with, the things that that I teach, the things that we're talking about, the things that I coach people on, I call it the inner game of success. Everybody's working on the outer game, but it's only when you learn how to master the inner game and the outer game, when you put them together, that's when you have that exponential growth. So really, you talk about the tectonic shifts, and really that's really what I've been teaching for these past 2 decades, is the tectonic shifts that come from the inside as well as looking to the outside.